never slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
All right, y'all, we're here. We're live. You're watching Buster Unmasked, and tonight's the night. It's the manager's debate. These two guys are going to face off, old school against new school. But before we do that, you know what I got to do. You got to like this video. You got to share this video. You got to go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Go do that right now. Go straight to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Hit that little red bell. That way you know when content's out. You don't have to look for it. Guys, I ain't even going to waste no time tonight. You know how the last one went. I don't want to go 3 hours tonight. So what I'm going to do, we're going to promote these upcoming podcasts, and then we're going to get this debate underway.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be in debt. Been stabbed in the back bed, I'll show you what happens. Pass me the mic and I'll show you with action. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right, and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own.
All right, you've seen it right there. Got some killer podcasts coming up. Got some ones I'm going to start posting next week for June. Just finalized a few of them. I've been looking forward to getting these finalized. I'm going to bring you the thumbnails next week. Monday, we're starting Monday with Nova Rain. We're going to talk to her, 7 p.m. like always, and I'll have new podcasts. But tonight, guys, Tonight, it's all about the debate. Old school versus new school. This is all about the managers. Last time it was wrestlers. Today, it's all about old school managers and new school managers. And we got, man, two of the most heat-getting managers anywhere in our business in any era here today. First of all, let me get us on the right format, and then I'll get these guys introduced. All right, guys, I bring to you none other than the king of the outlaws, Sexy Sam Dollar. Sam.
Yeah.
What's up, man?
What the fuck have you done got me into, man?
Hey, man, you signed on for it. You know what it's about. It's old school versus new school, man. It's all about the manager's debate.
You know I don't play this kind of bullshit, man. I don't know what the fuck you call yourself doing, but...
Man, I can see what kind of show it's going to be today. I should have put a parental advisory across the top of this, I guess, man.
That's a crock of bullshit, man.
So look, Sam, I'm going to get your opponent on here today. This guy, he is, listen to me, when I say heat getters, he is a heat magnet manager. He's the real frat row hero, and they call him Too Fine, none other than Justin Klein. Justin. What's up, Justin?
What's up, Busty?
Come on, man. Keep the clothes on, man. We already had you about show you nuts on one show a few months back, man.
What?
Come on, dude.
Hold up. You know, I don't know nothing about this cat at all, but he calls himself the frat row hero or something.
Hey, he's the frat row hero.
He's a frat row hero. Well, let me tell you something, punk. Punk.
Oh!
There ain't but one motherfucker I know that is a frat boy, and he was a real frat boy.
You've only known one.
That's okay. Chip Diver. Long before you ever come along.
Never heard of him. No surprise.
Was the first
he made it big,
frat boy, and he was.
Yeah, it's my turn. My introduction here. First of all, you're calling yourself Sexy Sam. I don't know where that came from. I mean, you're real little down here, but I don't know. I don't know where you got that nickname. Obviously, times have changed. Things have gotten better in the looks department. Now, I know you very well. I mean, it's kind of odd that I'm representing new school because I've never thought of myself as a new school kind of guy. But then again, I've never had a debate with a dinosaur either. So,
all right. Let's shoot a few questions here to you, buddy.
Hold on now.
Is that how the format works, Buster? You're already going to lose control here.
Look, I knew. I told everybody I didn't know what to expect on this, other than I knew both of y'all are smart asses. Both of y'all like to run your mouth, so I expected we might have some fireworks. I just didn't expect them to kick off this fad. Look, before y'all go in.
Let me ask this motherfucker a few questions. All right.
Ask away, Sam.
All right. I pretty well know, and I don't know a damn thing about you, and I've only seen you one time, and that was on Memphis Wrestling. And like I said, I don't know a damn thing about you, but I've seen a few shows that you were on, and you wouldn't make a wart on a good manager's ass, dude.
Damn.
I'm just telling you like it is. You wouldn't make a good hemorrhoid on a good manager's ass.
Consider the messenger here. I don't know who you are either. It doesn't look like you've done too well there in whatever double wide trailer you are there with 5-foot ceilings. But listen, I don't really want to argue. We may get along. So Buster has probably primed you to try to fight with me. And I'm trying to throw a curveball because I'm really a nice guy. So
I know. Hey, I know you're a nice guy. You know why? Because you're a fucking gimmick. You're a fucking gimmick.
Where's your horses at, buddy?
Hey, you're a fucking gimmick. My horses is right back right now, motherfucker.
Come on, guys. We got to get this thing on track.
You are a fucking gimmick. You're a pretend manager is what you are.
Really? Have
you
managed anybody since the turn of the century?
How many rides? Let me ask you something. How many fucking rides?
You are not the moderator. You don't get to ask questions.
How many rides have you started? 5. The first one was in your mama's house. You get wrestling heat.
Hold on, Klein. His mama's my mama. Hold on, dude.
Well,
You talking about my mama now?
so let's get into that. Let's talk about this because I feel like we really have a Donna Brazile, Hillary Clinton type of situation here where you gave him the answers before the debate, the questions. That's what I feel like here. You just disclosed that he is your brother. I'm glad. So we know that this isn't legitimate. We know that this is fake news.
No, this is real deal, and I'm unbiased in it. He's my brother, but he can handle himself, Klein, just like I know you can. Let's stop right here. Let's stop. both of y'all, shut it down so we can get this thing underway. We're never going to get nowhere like this. First of all, we've already got people commenting. Let's go through these. Mark McGee's with us. Good evening, y'all. Mark, I appreciate you tuning in, man. I appreciate you promoting and everything you do. We got Nathan. And if I'm thinking right, this is Nathan D's, right? He says, Justin is about to cook this ancient artifact. Obviously, Sexy Sam, this is a young kid. He don't really know who you are. But he thinks Justin's going to cook you in this debate. Then we got Ismail Bowles. He said, Justin Klein speaks the truth. Ismail's back, and he says, Sam is way past his bedtime. Damn, Sam, they coming after you hard right here.
That don't bother me none, brother. I'm used to heat.
Used to heat right there.
I thrive on heat, brother.
You don't have any air conditioner in that trailer, do you?
And one thing is, I'm not a gimmick. I'm Sam Dollar 24/7 every day of the fucking week. So I'm not a gimmick. I'm not a comic book character. I'm not a fucking
well, you sound like Yosemite Sam.
Character.
You're kind of giving me Yosemite Sam vibes tonight.
And I'm just telling you like it is. I am the greatest manager that's ever come through the Mid-South area in the whole fucking time there's ever been wrestling here.
All right, guys, we got to stop. Let's get through these questions and comments. And then let's get this thing underway. We got Chance with us. Chance, I appreciate you. One of the only two dudes, him and Mark McGee, that really promote my stuff. Share. He says the fit done hit the shed already. I'm with you. I'm with you. Ismail's back. He says, get some diapers. I'm assuming he's talking to Sam. Then we got Eric J, another one of my guys. He says, oh shit, what's up, guys? My guy Klein. All right, no more questions right now. You guys send them in if you got them. Here's the deal. We're finna get this debate underway. There's not going to be any clocks like we tried to do last time. Too much bullshit. We're not going to waste no time. Before we get the first question, I want each one of you, and Sam, I'm giving you the seniority. You're going to go first. Tell these people exactly who you are and your credentials.
I'm Sam Dollar. Who the fuck you think I am? I'm fucking Sam Dollar. I'm not a gimmick. So that's one fucking thing that's going on today. Every motherfucking body's playing a gimmick. They're playing a video game. They're playing a cartoon character. There's very few real motherfuckers in the world. And I don't watch nothing but indie wrestling. I don't watch WWE. I don't watch fucking TNA. I don't watch AEW. I don't give a fuck about them. I watch indie wrestling. And at 69 years old right now, at 69 years old, I bet you $1,000, you little fucking punk.
Damn.
You wear your street clothes and I wear mine. And I bet you I'll beat you in a 5-mile run. And I bet you I'll never take a breath. What the fuck you want to bet?
Sam, hold on. Let's pull it back just a little bit. The question was, what are your credentials, man? Tell us where some of the places you've worked at, a few of the people you managed, man.
Man, I've worked every motherfucking where. I can't name every fucking where I worked. And just so you know, your good buddy down at EPW, I have managed him at times before. So, you better get your fucking facts straight.
All right, Klein.
And I think I kind of know where you were trained at. I was trained by a superstar. I was trained by several fucking superstars. You know why? It's because the main thing is when I go in the dressing room, I was told to keep my mouth shut and listen, and I would learn a hell of a lot more.
By God.
That's not what the fuck y'all do.
I can see right now we're gonna break the record for fucks and motherfucks real fast in this show today.
Did you
Well,
walk
you
100
asked
feet
for
to
it.
school in the snow too? I mean,
You asked for it. You got it. You
All right,
asked for it.
guys.
You got it. I can
All
out.
right.
Hey, I can out anything this motherfucker can do. I can fucking do it twice as better and do it quicker. And I'm 69 fucking years old.
All
I
right.
mean,
All
really,
right.
you take a look. I'm looking at people 10 years younger than I am dying off. And I got perfect fucking health.
All right, Sam. Let's give Justin equal time. Klein, give us your credentials, man. Where you've worked, some of the people you've managed, whatever you've done, dude.
Buster, okay, first of all, you should have told me that I'm coming into this with a dementia patient. He couldn't list off any of his credentials. He couldn't remember anywhere he's been. He couldn't remember. I mean, senility is set in with this guy. So kind of unfortunate because nobody knows who he is. He says he's the best manager to ever come through the Mid-South. He doesn't look like Jimmy Hart to me.
Oh.
So I'll tell you about myself because I got plenty to say about myself, and I'm sharp as a tack. I'm not 69 with 1 foot in the grave. So I'm too fine. Justin Klein. I started out with the School of Morton, where I trained a tag team called the White Claw Outlaws. My background, I don't know, wasn't a cowpoke or a ranch hand or whatever it is he is. I'm actually an agent, all right? I've got a law degree, so it kind of blended in perfect. I jumped in. I started managing a tag team there. Ricky Morton was so impressed. They were about to start their own weekly show, YouTube show, back before anybody was doing that, called 505 on Sundays. A little tribute to the WCW. Anyway, I digress. They wanted a face. They wanted a star that could sell the product. And eventually, Ricky was like, you know what? I want you to take over and you to manage the show. So I did that for like a year. Then I get tired of driving out there to those hillbillies when there's plenty of hillbillies around here to get money from. And so then I got hired by K-Swiss at EPW. I managed K-Swiss. I managed Fancy Bryce Dancy. I temporarily managed Colton Cage, and I managed the Hot Shots. One of the Hot Shots, of course, Brandon Savage, who I managed for the last 3 years straight. No breaks. We had a great team, a great unit. Kid has a lot of the potential, not the smartest brain, influenced by a few people. We've since parted ways, but that's where we go. I was voted like manager of the year in EPW 1 year. You know, I'm sexiest guy in the locker room. I've got a lot of accolades. I'm educated, which clearly, judging by his vocabulary, is something he can't say. Very offensive language.
All right, guys. It's time to get this thing underway.
That's what a fucking heel's supposed to do, motherfucker. I'm a real heel. I'm not a pretend heel. I'm a real fucking heel. I'm an asshole.
You're another part of the body. I'm not sure if it's a heel.
Yeah.
I think he just said that. He said he was an asshole, Klein.
That's what I said. I said I'm a fucking real asshole.
Okay, all right, guys, stop. Let's get it under control.
Kicked in. And he's very cranky.
All right. Let's get it under control, guys. Here we go.
I'm not cranky. I'm just letting you know who the fuck's in charge around this motherfucker.
Well, certainly not you.
Oh, yeah.
All right, guys, I'm fixing to put the first question up. And Sam, this goes to you first. What's your philosophy on professional wrestling? What do you believe professional wrestling is?
Well, you know, since I stepped out in 2015, it's different. It is different, and it's cool. I mean, everything has to be different, and it is different. And like I said, I only watch. I'm an outlaw kind of guy. I only want to watch outlaw shows, and I do watch a lot of outlaw shows, and I watch all kinds from everywhere. And when you talk about the School of Morton, just to let you know, I watched a couple of their shows, and I thought Ricky Morton should have trained his guys better than what he did. So I thought the show sucked.
All right, Sam. What is your philosophy about pro wrestling? What do you believe pro wrestling is and should be?
I believe it's like hey. Pro wrestling started in the circuses, the carnivals, or whatever it is. All right, we had a time there where people respected pro wrestlers. Now they think pro wrestlers are a joke. And I'm telling you just like it is. And they follow right along. And back in the day, man, it was respect. And I seen you get in a little kid's face and you was arguing off with him, and he wasn't even backing up from you. I used to run kids from out of the fucking building. So,
all right, Klein, your chance. What's your philosophy on professional wrestling? What do you believe it is and should be, man?
It should be an entertaining athletic competition between two competitors. Sometimes they build heat. There's a storyline back there. You're always trying to engage the audience, and you need to get them to either to invest in it one way or the other, either through the entertainment, through the believing it's, getting behind the passion. And I mean, it's like a classic, good versus evil type of tale. And sometimes that takes longer to unfold, as it should, if it's good, prolonged story, right? A good character arc. And I think the philosophy, I don't know, that's it. That's what it is.
Well, let me ask you something. Okay. Let's just say
he's not the moderator. This is going to end up being like Joe Biden and Donald Trump, and you're Joe Biden, my friend.
I'm glad I'm not in politics. I'm 69 years old and I ain't never.
They're going to deny that you were ever sharp as a tack when we get done with this.
All right, Sam, give your rebuttal. You had something to say it.
He already forgot.
All right, guys, here's the deal. I see both sides of the coin. Obviously, pro wrestling is definitely 100% entertainment. But being an old school guy myself, I do agree with Sam. The fans don't look at it quite like they used to, and the wrestlers don't either, I believe. But at the end of the day, it's all about the fans coming in, enjoying themselves, paying their money, coming to see what they want to see. And, I mean, I guess everybody can view it different, but I think both of y'all are right on some aspects of what you said.
I don't think we had totally different answers. If he wouldn't come off such a jackass, we may walk out of here like your last debate where they left holding hands and went to Baskin Robbins. That's what kind of debate you had last time.
Justin, that's what's so messed up, though. When you go in the ring and you're in there trying to kill each other, and the next thing you know, the fans see you at the Baskin Robbins eating a fucking meal together or whatever. That's what kills the fucking business.
Well, Yosemite Sam, I'm not going to argue with that. I agree with you there.
And then let's say two cats has a good match, real good match. Then all of a sudden they're on Facebook talking about their match, and yeah, man, that was a good match. Appreciate you, brother, and all this shit. Heels and baby faces should not even fucking associate. I never associated. I wasn't one of the boys. I was above the boys.
Sam, everybody still wants to know some of the guys you've managed. You've managed everybody around this area you managed, and you managed a few superstars too. So just so they know, rattle off a few of the superstars you've managed, so we can get this out of the way.
Well, now, like I told you, I'm a outlaw type of show dude. I only do outlaw shows. But shit, man. Well, we can do Poker Face. We can do Neil Taylor. We can do Sergeant O'Reilly. We can do Mickey Ray. We can do Midnight Cowboy, Ruthless Ron McClarty, Motley Cruz.
Did you ever manage David Cox?
I managed everybody that they had.
Did you ever manage David Cox, though?
No, I never managed David Cox. I know David Cox.
You must not have been that good.
No, I never managed David Cox. But I do know David Cox. I've known him for many years.
All right, guys, we're going to move on to the next lineup, the next question. All right, Justin, I'm going to let you go first on this one. Why do wrestlers need managers, man?
Just like in boxing, just like in any sport, you need a support system. You need a team. You need somebody at least out there with you to motivate you, to watch your back. And in this day and age, maybe this is why we were separate too. I feel like they should also be plugging them, putting them over on social media. They should be responsible for their marketing. I mean, I did a lot more than I know most lazy managers do. I did the marketing. I did the slogans. I did the branding, the merch, all that, as well as escort him to the ring. Make sure everything was called down the line, that no referee was being paid off or falling asleep on the job. And everybody needs that. If you don't, I mean, if you look at guys who had managers and how successful they were and how unsuccessful they were without the manager. But you got to be a good manager. But 9 times out of 10, a wrestler, if he wants to take off and be noticed, he needs a good manager. Look at Aaron Roberts. Okay, he's got Justin Case, the guy you got coming on the next debate. He was a nobody until Justin Case came around and put him over. Look at Brandon Savage. He was a nobody. Look at Eli Knox until Andrew Bates came along and he started winning championships. So I think the records speak for themselves.
All right, Sam, it's to you now. Why do you feel like wrestlers need a manager?
Well, in the first place, you got a lot of wrestlers that can't talk on the microphone. So they have to put them with a manager to be the mouthpiece. Another thing is that a manager is not always needed. If you've got a guy that don't know how to use the manager, then you're just wasting your time. You know, if they don't know how to use you, then there's no sense you being their manager. And but it's just a mouthpiece. You know, Moondog wouldn't talk. Moondog never would talk. He always had to have a mouthpiece. Beautiful Bobby Eaton wouldn't talk. Last time I heard Bobby Eaton talk, he was on USWA. He called Brian Christopher a pussy lips. I knew
Actually, Sam, it was Jimmy Hart. He called Jimmy Hart a pussy lips because Jimmy Hart had been ripping him off on his money, man. I remember that to the T. I was a little kid.
Yeah.
I can't believe it slipped through Channel 5, man. It sure did. He said, "You're a pussy lip, man."
Well, one night we was at a show over there, and I was working with Dirty Little Dave and the Dirty Little Gang, and so I was going over what we were going to do at the show. We had a Handsome Jimmy there, and I said, well, we'll have Handsome go up and say this, and then we'll have beautiful Bobby come up and talk too. Well, Dave said, well, Sam, that all sounds like a damn good idea, but there's one thing. I said, what? He said, Bobby don't talk on the microphone. I said, oh, shit, you got that right. And so sometimes guys need a mouthpiece, but sometimes you can put 2 guys together, or you can put a tag team together with a manager, and the magic just comes out. And when the magic comes out, you know it. It's not just a regular show. It's not just regular guys. It's like they've got that magic. And there's a lot of young guys right now that's got that magic. They just need somebody to lead them. And another thing, how are you ever going to climb to the top of the ladder when there's so many fucking wrestling organizations? There's one on every fucking corner. You know, how in the hell are you? See, if I work for you on a Saturday night, I don't go work for somebody else on the other Saturday night. I work for you and you own it, you know, and that's how you build your stuff up. So, and then you take a Saturday night show, Friday night show, whatever the fuck, you know. And no, it's cool. It's cool. I mean, I have nothing against the new style of wrestling. It's just that all the years I was in it, I lost interest in it. And don't ever think that it's a career. It's a fucking hobby. It's a hobby. So I moved on to other hobbies. I just got tired of it. It's repetitive. When you go out there and you get heat, you do the same fucking thing over and over and over. After so many fucking years.
If you're good, you don't have to. If you're good, you can come up with creative ways.
Well, I tell you what, once you've been in the business 30 years, you call me and let me know.
It's not a business. You just said it's a hobby.
Once you've been in the business a few years, you call me and let me know.
It just occurred to me, handsome Jimmy Valiant, handsome, Bobby Eaton, beautiful, and you sexy. Obviously, the standards were very low back in the day. I just want to say.
Obviously, you don't know much about your wrestling history to know
I've
nothing.
got eyeballs. I've got good vision.
No, to know anything about handsome Jimmy Valiant or
I
beautiful
would
Bobby
agree
Eaton.
with.
Don't
I
you
know they're not
ever,
as they're
don't you
described.
ever down handsome Jimmy Valiant or beautiful Bobby Eaton.
Handsome Jimmy Valiant looks like Willie Nelson if he was on crack and lived on the
Now
street
you
for
can
30
down
years.
me all you want because it just bounces off my fucking shoulder. But don't you ever do handsome Jimmy or beautiful Bobby Eaton was one of the most premier fucking wrestlers that there ever was.
Great wrestler. Wouldn't call him beautiful. Great wrestler. I'll give you that.
Still, he got over.
All right, guys. All right, guys. We got to keep moving. Before we do, Jake Hudson's with us. He said, liked and shared. Jake, I appreciate it. I appreciate you liking and sharing. I appreciate you tuning in and supporting my content, man. Let's move on to the next question, guys. Let me see where I am here. All right, Klein. Actually, Sam, this one's to you. We're going to alternate back and forth. What should be your main objective as a pro wrestling manager?
Take care of your talent.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's it. Take care of your talent.
Justin Klein, I'm going to send it right on to you. What should your main objective be as a pro wrestling manager?
Win the match and go home with the most money.
So I think both of y'all kind of agree on that one. That's taking care of your talent. You know, if your talent wins, it goes to the pay window. Everybody makes more money. So that one was a no-brainer right there for y'all. We're going to keep right on moving, guys.
Shocking that questions from you would be no-brainers.
Klein, we all pitched in on some of these questions, man. Tell the truth. We all pitched in on some of these questions.
That I pitched.
Hey, wait a minute. I ain't pitched in on not one fucking question you've asked. Don't put that shit on me. I ain't pitched in on not one motherfucking question you've asked.
Maybe you should have.
I don't have to be because I'm a quit on the wit, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, you're a quit on the wit?
I said I'm quit on the wit. I can do it on context. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man.
Walking and talking, whamming, jamming, shaking, baking, rocking, and rolling, and the ladies know I'm always looking and cooking.
All right, don't get him started now. Don't get him started.
Pimp on a blimp over there. I'm too fine, Justin Klein. I'm always on the grind, baby.
Yeah, you on the grind, all right, but you know what you look like to me? I hope you don't ever have to. I hope you don't ever have to go to prison, because you know what the saying in the penitentiary is, don't you?
I don't hang out with scumbags.
There is no greater joy than a fat butt boy.
Oh, damn! Damn!
And you look like
Oompa Loompa?
Hey, you look like a fat ass.
You look like an Oompa Loompa.
Well, won't you take me up on that $1,000 5-mile bet?
Anytime.
All
I
you
might
gotta
get
do
charged
is
with elder abuse.
lay it out there, baby. I didn't own my own
form.
I didn't own my own health. I didn't own my own health and fitness.
All right, guys, y'all gonna have to at least let each other talk so we can understand what either one of you saying. We can't understand both of y'all when you're both yelling at the same time, guys.
I'm about to get arrested for elder abuse.
Elder abuse. Shit, boys, tell you what, I'll take that cane and I'll whoop your motherfucking ass all upside the head.
Damn.
I'll tell you what.
How many matches have you been in?
I'll fuck your heart. I tell you what. If you want to see who I have managed, you go to but you go $60 Sam Dollar show on YouTube, and you'll see all the motherfuckers I've managed. I've even managed your boy, old squarehead Neil Taylor.
Neil Taylor is not my boy. Neil Taylor has not even replied to my text.
Yeah.
Hey, well, let's address that a little bit, Klein, man. You mentioned it earlier. You and Savage kind of laid you out at a show a couple months ago, man.
What does that have to do with the manager debate?
Well, I'm just saying, man. You said Neil won't reply to your text. Is he replying to Brandon's text?
I don't know, and I don't care. Brandon doesn't have a future as far as I'm concerned. Brandon's going to go back to being a nobody. Ronda Rousey said it best.
Fine.
Yeah, she said it best. She hadn't heard his name since I left him. Because I left him.
Fine. No, Klein, don't feel bad, brother. I've been knocked out and laid out many fucking times in my time. So,
well, I haven't.
I have. I've been beat. Hey, look here. How many Moondog chair shots did you ever took?
I'm not making a habit of it. I tell you that.
That's right. Because you a pussy and you can't take it. I tell you what, Moondog. I tell you what you do. You let Moondog bend the chair.
I didn't get an education and come on this side of the business to get beat up on. No, I'm too smart for that. I can handle myself if I need to be.
Bullshit, you're a pussy, and that's why.
Damn, guys, we gotta stay on track, man.
Get back on track.
We're never gonna make it through these. We've got about 10 questions.
This guy needs to get back to watching Touched by an Angel.
And I tell you what, anyway. Wait a minute. I'm the senior here, so I ought to be able to ask some questions my damn self.
You're not the moderator. Have you ever watched a debate?
I mean, no,
hey, I don't do shit like this. That's why I told him what the fuck you done got me into.
All right. Guys, we got to move on to the next question here. We got to get this thing done. We got to move on. I don't even remember which one of you motherfuckers answered the question first last time now. Do y'all?
Hey, I thought you called me old, motherfucker.
I mean, you are old, Sam. I mean, you are old, man.
I ain't but 1 year off 70 years old, and let me tell you something. I can walk and talk, baby. You know what I'm saying? If I wanted to pick up that phone and make a few phone calls right now, I could be booked on shows. So don't think I can't be booked. All I got to do is pick up the fucking phone and make the call.
All right, here we go. Next up.
700 Club, maybe.
Damn. Pop me on that one. Hold on, guys. Let me get back on track. All right, here we go. Sam, I'm assuming this goes to you first. So here we go. How do you make sure you do not overshadow your wrestler, your talent?
Well, when you go out, all the times are different. Sometimes you might put yourself over first and then put your talent over. Sometimes, but when you walk out that door, you walk out and you're walking and you're pointing at your talent and you're talking about it. And then when you get in the ring, it's according on what it calls for. Either you put yourself over first or you put your talent over first. You know, or either it could be anything. But I don't know in this day and time whether they do storylines and shit, because all the independents I watch, they just have matches. And they've got these ugly looks on their faces. Well, hell, if you're a real badass, you don't have to put an ugly look on your fucking face. You know, so, you know, I don't know, you know, I told you. Anyway, go on with the show.
All right, Klein. How do you keep from overshadowing your wrestlers, your talent?
Well, it's hard because I have a natural glow about me, but I always try to focus, divert everything, relate everything to the talent. You know, you want to see yourselves as a unit, as a team. You don't want to just go in and have it just on, you know, the spotlight just on you. You want to always bring the other guy in. But, you know, like you said, it's kind of different during the match. If they're having a great match and the crowd is into it, I don't see any need to cheat. You know, the referee, not cheat, but the referee is doing anything I need, you know, that I need to be concerned about or object to. If none of that is going on, then I'll stand back, cheer the guy on, and let him have the match. Now, if the crowd seems kind of dead or something, you know, then I'll get into it. I'll tell them what they need to hear. I never have a shortage of things to say. It's a target-rich environment when you look at these wrestling crowds. They are pretty much the bottom feeders of society, and that's just the way it is. I'm sorry if anybody finds that offensive, but They really are. So, you know, it depends on, you just kind of got to be in the moment and be engaged. Now, as far as just in general being more over, sometimes you can't help that. You want to like uplift your wrestler with you always, but if your wrestler is just not good at it, you know, sometimes it's just going to happen. What are you supposed to do? Lower your bar and your standard because they're not doing their part? No, I mean, you're still going to do the best you can, rise to the occasion, promote yourself, be entertaining. And like I said, it's really all you can do. Eventually, you always want to tie it to them because you're not the one in the ring. But sometimes it's just going to happen. And I think that happened even back in the day. I mean, when you look at, like, Bobby Heenan managed somebody like, the Brain Busters are great wrestlers, but they didn't really get that much heat. Haku, you know, they didn't talk. They didn't have any much. People wanted to see Bobby Heenan get involved and hear him talk. It was more about their hate for him than it was for these guys that they were kind of indifferent to. They were good wrestlers, but they didn't really produce much heat, you know.
All right, guys, look, Jake Hudson said, I just found out Steve Mongo McMichael died. I hadn't heard that, Jake. I appreciate the info. I hate to hear that, man. Hell of a football player.
Great announcer. Legendary announcer.
Pro wrestling. Apparently Klein's a Mongo McMichael announcer fan. I hadn't heard that yet. Bradley Merchant's talking about his pink undies. Klein, we know he's talking about you, man. We know he's talking about you and them red or pink drawers, dude.
So you ain't got to bring that up. You ain't got to give him ammunition.
All right, guys.
They weren't pink. They're called salmon. They were in a pack. They're men's underwear. They're Lacoste. That's a men's brand.
Man, look, man, we wear motherfucking Fruit of the Looms around here, man. We don't got none of them high class fucking drawers. Klein, what are you talking about, man?
Where I come from, that's normal. I don't know what's normal around here, but.
All right, guys, we're going to move right on along with the next question. Sam, this one's to you. Well, I don't even know. Klein, this one's to you, I believe. All right. What items should a pro wrestling manager have in their toolkit? These are things you can use during a match. You may need. Your client may need. Let's go, Klein.
A whistle so you can get the referee's attention. If your guy's representing a fraternity like my guy was, you want that frat paddle or you want a frat flag, you want to represent the brotherhood. I don't really cheat, so I do have nice jewelry here, hint, hint. And
all right, Johnny Dotson, quit showing off the gold, man.
Those are the three things. Hey, I'm the first person to ever get in the ring with a ring on.
I don't know about that, Klein.
If Johnny Dodson could be the first person to wrestle in a necklace, I could be the first person managing with a ring.
I seen Dodson arguing about that shit with people on Facebook this morning, man.
He didn't get the answers he wanted. It was getting very awkward. Johnny's still my boy, though.
All right, Sam. You're a manager extraordinaire, man. Always prepared. What items should a pro wrestling manager keep in his toolkit?
You're going to need some powder. You're going to need some plastic bags. You're going to need a first aid kit. You're going to need all kinds of real gimmicks that you've taped up, because if they happen to get out in the crowd and they see them, they'll know that they're real. The shit the wrestlers do nowadays, reaching in their trunks like they're getting something out of there, that's bullshit. Every now and then you want one of your gimmicks to fly out in the crowd and they can see that it is real. That's what made wrestling so real back in the days. And I had every motherfucking thing. I had masks. I had extra clothes for my guys, for other guys if they didn't have the clothes. I took care of people in the dressing room. And chains, ropes. Hell, I even had a hangman's noose in that motherfucker, man. So I ain't no telling what I'll
canceled.
We
are getting canceled. This show is getting demonetized. Good luck, Buster.
Dude, this motherfucking show was demonetized within the first fucking 3 minutes of it, dude. I'll be honest with both of y'all. It's gonna be hell making reels out of this shit, man. I mean, it is. It's gonna be hell. Klein, they own your ass about that ring, man. Oh, Temp ring. Oh, Timu ring, Klein.
I don't care what they say. They don't know what they're talking about. Look at the people talking. Where do you imagine they shop? Now, I will agree with him. Just to show I'm not on here just to be an asshole. I mean, the guy does make some good points, even for a senile person. Yes, first aid kit's something I also have. I also have extra gear and stuff for my guys. So I do agree with that. Even though he kind of comes off, you know the meme of like the old guy shaking his fist at the sky? These damn whippersnappers, these kids today. That's kind of what this guy's reminded me of. I feel young. I'm older than most people, but.
Sam, are you disgruntled? Are you that old guy? Are you that old guy shaking his fist?
Let me tell you something, Hoss. Even right now, I can do a hell of a lot better in the gym or everywhere than 75% of the wrestlers on the independent scene in the Mid-South. They're either fat or they're too skinny.
Which one are you? Too short?
No, I'm just right.
Too Short was a hell of a rapper, man, from my youth, dude.
Hey, there ain't nothing short about me but my dick, and the girls like every foot of that. So,
damn,
you kind of butchered that one, but
demonetization all over the. We'll be lucky if they don't hit the button on this shit before we get done, and we just go to a black fucking screen, man.
I mean, people like that should be enjoying their golden years, happy. He's very angry. I hope I'm not that angry. Maybe if I'm a failure like he apparently was, maybe I'll be really angry and bitter.
You already a failure, dude.
I don't think so.
You don't. Hey, do you think you'll make it to the WWE?
I'm not trying to get to the WWE.
Do you think you'll make it to TNA or AEW?
The WWE. Did you make it to the WWE?
No, sir. I'm an independent kind of guy.
Okay, you're an independent kind of guy. Well, I'm a money kind of guy.
Yeah.
I make more money not doing this as a hobby.
Well, I'll watch it. Whenever I hear you.
As a favor for athletes.
It is, hey, regardless of what you think, it is a hobby. It's not a career. It is a hobby.
Are you arguing with yourself now? I said that.
Yeah, it's a hobby.
Okay. I don't get offended by that. Some people do. You know, there's a lot of like wisdom. I really wanted to tear apart some of this old geriatric old heads wisdom about some shit that's totally wrong. But I mean, I will agree with you on that. For the most part, until you make it, till you're paying all your bills and you don't have a career outside of that, then it is a hobby.
Damn, it looks like Bradley Merchant. I don't know who he's coming after on this one. He just said he needs a shot of whiskey and some pussy so he won't be so mad. So it's got to be you, Sam. Hell, Bradley, he's all over Klein. I guess he's all over both of you guys tonight.
Well, I'm not a grouchy person. I'm just doing my job right now as to what I'm supposed to do. But when I get off of here, I won't be a grouchy person. In fact, I'm a pretty damn good person. But I'm doing my job. Just like Moondog said, always do your job. And so I'm doing my job. I'm a heel fucking manager. I'm a heel fucking manager, dude. And you're a pretend heel manager.
So to be a heel manager, you have to be cranky and just grouchy all the time. That's the only way to do it.
No, you have to say what the fuck you want to say and don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks about.
You're dropping F-bombs like you're a 15-year-old who just learned the word. That's embarrassing.
Yeah. I done forgot more about wrestling than you'll ever know.
You're not shocking anybody by saying motherfucker every other word.
That's the way I talk. So that's the way it must be shocking you. It must be bothering your little punk ass.
It ain't bothering me at all.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing. I'm wondering when your nurse is going to come in and change your diaper.
That's where it gets out. See, I see these guys on TV on Saturday morning and their baby faces. And then at 12 o'clock at night, I watch an independent show up in Arkansas somewhere in their heels. What kind of fucking shit is that?
You ain't seen my guys or me do that.
Yes.
No, you have not.
The bullshit is that. I've done seen guys do it. Let me ask you.
I can't speak for everybody. There's a lot of dummies in here that I don't like. I don't like 90% of them.
Let me ask you a question.
Come on, guys.
Well, go on with your questions if you got some more.
Go on and ask what you were going to ask. Let's get it done so we can get back on track.
Let me ask you something, House. What's a heat spot?
A heat spot is what your mama gave me.
What's a heat spot, dude? I'm serious with you. What the fuck is a heat spot?
I'm serious too.
Okay.
Why are you so you're so old school, but yet you're wanting to delve into and spill all these secret stuff out here?
Everybody else has too. I'm the most kayfabe motherfucker you ever seen till now. Everybody else has too. I mean,
I'm gonna be honest, guys.
Hey, dude. Either you know or you don't know. What the fuck is a heat spot?
I don't have any idea. Let me say that because I ain't.
All right. What the fuck is a hot tag?
I don't know. I don't know what a heat spot is. I don't know what cutoff is. I don't know what a baby face is. This is all just lingo that's beyond me.
That's beyond you because that means that the shit don't mean nothing.
All right, guys, we got to get back on track.
Hey, wait a minute. You don't know what the fuck a heat spot is when 70% of the time the manager's the one that causes the heat spot. And you don't even know what the fuck a heat spot is. You don't know what a hot tag is. You don't know who's supposed to get the hot tag. See, I done been seeing a lot of shit on TV here lately.
The ring announcer is supposed to get the hot tag.
I've done seen it on TV here lately where the wrong tag team's been getting a hot tag.
I was watching this program the other day on the news.
All right, guys.
I can see right now I'm already getting up under your skin because you don't know jack shit about being a manager.
I do, Mr.
And
Dollar.
And I tell you what, Hoss,
Mr. Dollar Store, I've already done more and impressed more people in 4 years than you did in 20.
Dude, don't make me laugh. I didn't retire. I just quit.
All right, guys, let's get back on track, man.
That's what they say when you lose bookings.
Guys, we ain't got about 4 or 5 more questions and we'll be through with this thing. Let's get back on track, man. All right, Klein, this one's to you. What managers inspired you? Could be one, could be however many. I don't know. Who inspired you as managers?
I would say Bobby the Brain Heenan, which I've already name dropped before. Jim Cornette, hands down the wittiest, cleverest talker. Bobby Heenan was like the total package. Jim Cornette, best talker, hands down. And then third, I want to go with somebody a little less obvious because this gets to be a boring question. But he definitely did influence a little bit, influence my style certainly, and that is the quintessential stud muffin, Joel Gertner.
I see that in you, Klein. I had never really thought about that before, but I can see that's a hell of an influence, a big influence in you.
That's my 3.
Sam, what managers inspired you, man?
I don't have 3. I only have 1. Precious Paul Ellering.
Ugh. Really?
I only have 1. Precious Paul Ellering.
What was good about him?
When they come to the Road Warriors, when they first hit, and all the way through their career, he was a real manager. He wasn't like us. He wasn't a pretend to be manager. He was a real manager. He made their bookings. He made their plane fares. He made all of their shit for them. He took care of them boys.
That is what I do. That is what I do. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't go around managing. See, here's what you don't understand. I'm not like some of these managers who just show up, boom, put together with a person, walk out to the ring, never speak to them again. I manage my guys. I get their bookings. I reach out to promoters. I come up with ideas. I do all of that, just like you said, Paul Ellering. I invested in merchandise. See, I was a real manager. So you just admitted that I'm a better manager than you. Thank you. Next question.
Hey, Briley Merchant says Justin Case is the best manager.
Whatever.
All right, guys, we're going to keep this thing moving right along. Sam, this goes to you
Briley
first.
Merchant is a wannabe referee. First of all, can we stop bringing every fan, every mark that comes? First of all, these promotions are not going to have any show if they keep bringing all the fans in to be referees in hopes of being wrestlers. I mean, it's a very niche market. Old Cowboy Bebop over here already said there's too many promotions around here, and that's really true. So you're already slicing up this is a very niche market, a niche interest. You're splitting it up by 100, and then you're taking some of your most dedicated, passionate fans and then bringing them into the wrestling ring. So I think that's going to be an attendance problem in the future. Also, the people they do that with tend to be very annoying and suck at it, like Briley Merchant.
All right, guys, look, before we go to the next question, I do want to talk about this manager thing, because Sam brought up a good point about Precious Paul. There's a few kind of managers in the wrestling business. There's the comic relief manager. There's the heat manager. I consider both of you guys heat managers, without a doubt. You need to go watch some of Sexy Sam's early stuff. Man, both of you guys get more heat than any manager I've seen around the area right now, period. And then you've got the managers like Precious Paul, like you say you are, Klein, that took care of their guys, kind of everything, got their bookings, made their motel room reservations, made sure that the travel plans were made. Paul Ellering, Jim Cornette's another one of those guys. He handled all the Midnight Express's business. Sam, here's the thing. I can vouch for Sam on this one. He did the same thing for me. He did the same thing for Ron McClarty. This is what you guys have in common. He handled bookings. He handled travel. He handled motels. He handled it all. He handled POs. So that's one place that you two guys actually come together and are from the same spot as far as managers goes. There's some, like Klein, you said it. He said it too. There's pretend managers who just show up at a show and they stick them with a guy and they go out to the ring and that's the end of the relationship. You got cheerleader managers who, and as much as I love him and he's entertaining as fucking hell, Hollywood Jimmy Blaylock. He's a mixture. He's kind of a comic relief and a cheerleader manager. And if we're being honest, he's a manager that really, most of the time, overshadows his talent. And that's not taking anything away from Jimmy, because Jimmy is fucking entertaining as hell. I love watching Jimmy Blaylock, but sometimes he overshadows, most of the time he overshadows his talent, and it becomes more about him than it does the wrestlers.
Yeah. Well, he was managing people like Bone Crusher and, Daniel Nova, people who had no personality. So it wasn't hard to do. You pretty much had to overshadow the guys like that.
Sam, you got anything to add before we move on?
There for Bone Crusher, if you're listening.
Yeah, I am. I ain't got nothing else to add.
All right, guys.
He's getting tired. He's getting sleepy. We need to wrap this up.
We got about 4 more questions, guys.
I am impressed, though, that when you said he made all the reservations and did the travel booking and all that for you, too, huh?
It did everything, man.
He hooked the wagon to the horses and all that stuff back in the day.
All we had to do was load up, be there when it come time to hit the road, and we didn't have to worry about nothing but wrestling.
Okay.
All right, guys. Klein, I'm thinking this one's to you. I'm really lost. We're going to go with you.
All right.
Should you as a manager always build your wrestler's opponent up in promos? And this is a 2-parter. Once you give that answer, and why?
No.
Why?
Are you going to have him answer first and then come back to me?
No, we're going. All right, Sam. Should you always, as a manager, build your wrestlers' opponents up in your promos?
No.
See, y'all getting that? We're running into Johnny Dodson, Jason Genesis again. Y'all motherfuckers will be hugging and kissing. Time this shit's over, man.
No way.
Well, that's like, because I thought that was the old school thing. Because I get
that's like,
sick of hearing that.
Well, that's like being a heel and going out there and talking dirty to the people, and then during intermission going out there sitting at a table trying to sell pictures.
Yes,
that's the whole deal right there.
It's the most boring part of any mic spill at all. I mean, there are certain cases, like in this form of sports, entertainment, whatever you want to call it. Nothing is concrete, nothing's black and white, and you've got to be able to think in person and kind of really understand it. It's not always or never. So say in this instance, you're facing somebody much more credentialed or much larger in size. So yeah, you might acknowledge that, and especially if you have no beef or the crowd doesn't really maybe know that person, and you don't want them to be laughing at them, right? I mean, I wish that we had more baby faces who were a little stronger, had a little bit more mic skills, because you don't want to like totally embarrass and bury the guy, but it's still, it would be so much better if they would come back than at you. I think it's a boring part. It seems like when wrestlers are going through the motions, when they're like, I know that you've done this and you're so-and-so champion. That's bullshit. I mean, that's so fucking fake. It's so obvious that you've been told to do that. And it don't seem real. If you're mad, if you're in a feud, you're not going to come out there and just rattle off all these, how great this person is. Now, if it's just a one-on-one match and, you know, the heat's not really that big a deal, you can do it. Or like I said, if you're definitely the underdog. But just in general, I don't think it's always a good idea. No, in fact, sometimes I think it's a bad idea because it's just fake. And then you want to pivot to like insulting them after you talked about how great they were. It just, I don't know. It's just unnecessary. It's filler. I don't like it.
Sam? Yeah, sure. You're NY. Do you agree with Klein about that situation? That, I mean, if it's a one-off, you know, yeah, you can build your opponent a little bit, but if you're deep in the heart of an angle, it's really gone beyond that point. What's your thoughts? What's your and why about the reason you shouldn't always build your opponent up as a manager, your wrestler's opponent?
Reason you shouldn't build your opponent up as a manager? I mean, as
your wrestler's opponent up.
Yeah, the reason you don't do that is because you get more heat from the crowd when you don't do that. You get more heat from the crowd when you talk bad because they love that baby face.
Right. See, it's the baby face
90% of your people, they come to the show to see the manager get his ass whooped because they hate the manager so bad if he's a good manager. They don't, I mean, they do come for the show, don't get me wrong. But if you've been a good enough manager and not wrestling heat, motherfuckers that's waiting out in the parking lot on you with guns, gonna shoot you. You got that kind of heat, then you don't want to build him up. You don't want to build him up at all. Right. I mean, you want to constantly let him know he's a lowlife.
I have pulled back a little bit just because I know this person is not that over or something like that. I'm like, I don't want to just totally bury him where they're like, he looks like a joke. But I kind of feel like that's a weak baby face. You need to come out and then prove us wrong what we're saying wrong. It's not our job to put you over. Our job is to, like you said, get heat, put ourselves over, and, you know,
a lot of times
be the person that you want to see get beat up, not, you know, be cordial.
Well, if you like your kid pretty good, but he's not that good. But if you like him pretty good, then he don't know how to use a manager to begin with. So you got to be careful because that's going to make you look bad. But what you can do is, as you're going along, if you like him, and all young guys, if I go out with some young guys, I always try to tell them, hey, don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that. And I try to tell them that. So that way they can learn more. I've had so many referees tell me, man, I love to be out here refereeing on one of your matches, man. I love it. Said, I've had to tell fucking referees to count me off the fucking ring because motherfuckers put their arms around the referee and hold his neck when they don't realize that the referee is the last and final fucking word in the ring. You know, you just don't. And a referee can't stay in the corner while your guys are getting heat for 15 minutes, fucking with you.
Right.
And I've had to tell referees many times, start counting me, because they'll sit there and argue with you, argue. And I had to tell them, start counting me.
Right.
And then in the dressing room later on, they tell me, I said, man, I love working with you. You're the easiest motherfucker to work with. Said I love it.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's just how you feel. If you got a dead beat that don't want to fucking half-ass put out anything, then fuck it. You know, try not to even walk out with that son of a bitch, because it's like Moondog said, you think you're gonna go to a bad show and you think you're gonna make that show better, but that show might make you worse.
It's true.
You know, so
I would just think a lot back on the question here, since we went a roundabout way there. It's just there's you know, things will get passed down. That's the way it's always been done, kind of thing. And I hear that a lot, and me not really growing up in this business, so I looked just at it different. I was like there's a lot of wrestlers who will say, don't call your opponent old, especially older wrestlers.
Right.
Ironically, it's always the older wrestlers that don't like it. But I'm like, why would you dance around the obvious? You know, they say their philosophy is, I'm going to get a lot of heat for this, I'm sure. Their philosophy is, you know, who'd you beat? You just beat an old guy. No, you didn't. You said that, but you're a lying sack of shit because you lie all the time about everything else. And besides that, they want to see who you called an old guy still has it. I mean, it's not like the ultimate insult. So it's that guy's job to put him over or counter what you're saying. I don't think it's just so obvious when people will not do personal attacks. Like, did you watch anything from 1980 to 2000? I mean, that's what it is. Whether it's you're going to go after the low hanging fruit.
Well, here's the deal.
You're going to go after that, whether it's a weakness, a broken arm or a neck, or a height issue, or being too fat or too skinny, or a midget or whatever. You're going to go after the jugular, you know. And I think people are just so insecure, like they don't want to hear that. And it's like, well, it's obvious if you're thinking it, everybody else is thinking it too, and it doesn't matter. It's your job to go out there and change that. Me calling you one of those things, call me or my guy something else. I mean, we'll give you shit to work with, you know.
I've been called every damn thing in the book, and I've been called everything in the book by everybody, and that don't bother me. You can call me old all you want, because
you are old.
I've had a good life. Man, the only person now, when I used to go in the dressing room, if there was a name in there, I always go up to that name if I had something to do with them, and I'd ask them, I say, what's my boundaries? And then they'd either say no boundaries, you can say whatever you want. The superstar Bill Dundee told me not to call him old. So
that is weak. That is weak. I would respect any motherfucker who would say there's no boundaries. Obviously, I'm not going to go after something personal outside, like wife or kid, you know, without checking with them. But something like that, if you're like 60 or 70, don't call you old. What are you talking about? People aren't blind. I mean,
yeah, but I like I said, I just didn't want to do anything that they didn't a name.
Right. I won't do it because I don't want my guy getting their ass kicked for what I'm saying. So I mean, I won't do it. I'll respect that. That's fine. But I totally lose respect. Like, this is an insecure motherfucker, right?
Yeah, I always go and I ask them. I say, "What's my boundaries?" Because they know that I'm going to talk. And the only one that's ever said anything to me though was Superstar, and he said that just don't call me old.
And here's the thing, I gotta
about certain things.
I gotta lean with Klein on this one. I've always thought it was bullshit. If you're old, every fucking fan in the arena can see that you're old. So I mean, my perspective is, you know, here's the thing: real issues draw heat. Real shit draws heat. If you're old, I mean, everybody already sees it. If you've been watching Bill Dundee for 45 years, then you know Bill Dundee's old. But old guys do that, man.
And we're
They
all
don't.
gonna get old. So it just, yeah.
Everybody gets old. Everybody gets old.
Man, I can see right now. I'm gonna just have to pull myself out and scoot you two motherfuckers closer together so y'all can put y'all's arms around each other.
See,
right?
I told you, you set him up. You told him I'm a bad guy. Now we're finding out he
I
likes
didn't tell
me.
him
He's
you were
looking
a
up to
bad
me.
guy.
He's
All
gonna
right.
ask me for my autograph before this thing's over.
Ooh, Sam, are you gonna get Klein's autograph, man?
Well, I'm liable to do any motherfucking thing, and yeah, I might get his autograph. You can't
I
ever
got
tell.
some charm. I got some charm, Buster.
Yeah, I might. Hey,
God.
I need some merch too, man, like some t-shirts and shit.
Might
All right,
hook
you
up.
out
You
here
get
trying to hawk
you,
gimmicks, man.
you let Buster give you my address, and you send me a shirt down there with your name on it, and I'll wear that motherfucker, man.
All right, guys, before we get out of here, Rob Stern's got a good question, a good statement and question. He says, why do most fans hate managers? I really admire managers because they put themselves in harm's way and absorb the hatred and vitriol, vitriol from the crowd. Very admirable personality traits they have. How do y'all feel about that? Why do y'all feel like, I mean, here's the obvious answer. Managers are hated because that's what you're supposed to do. That's your job. But why do you feel like some managers are hated more than others then? Why some people, Klein, you're one, for some reason, people take you personally. These fans, they take you personally. Sam, you had the same issue back in the day. You would say some shit, get on a fan's ass, and before it's over, these motherfuckers want to fight, want to threaten to not come back to the show, want you fired. Both of you guys are kind of alike on that. So why do you feel like managers are so hated by fans?
I think some are because we approach it different. We don't care. I mean, we really are a little bit maybe more clever, a little bit more witty. And I think the authenticity, like Yosemite Sam over here, started off saying, I'm just a gimmick. I mean, I think people can tell from the way I speak, from the way I dress, follow me on Facebook. They know that I'm more educated than them. They know I have more money than them. They know, like, some of them they see and they're like, yeah, that could be my neighbor, Bob. He mows my yard. That's what the manager looks like or acts like, right? They know that I'm kind of a class ahead of them. And I think that bleeds through. I think they're envious of me.
Sam, why do you think
Shoot.
Why you think you were so hated, or managers in general, certain managers are so hated?
Now you got to remember, I didn't have wrestling heat. I had real heat. I mean, real heat. If I approached a kid, he would turn around and run off from me.
I had a
And
guy pull a knife on me once.
and so, like I said, you know, it's just, and not all managers are hated. Not all, I mean, I'm looking at these independents, and I'm looking at these guys walking out there with blue jeans and tennis shoes on, and I'm thinking, man, the manager is supposed to look more classier than anybody in the whole fucking room. You know, he's supposed to fucking be classy. And you got these motherfuckers go out there with these do-rags on and shit, and you know, it's just fucking ridiculous what they call managers nowadays. You know,
They just got up out of the front row.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, managers is not a babyface thing. Managers is for heels. Managers are there to get heat, help get heat on their talent.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you this. In this day and time, the thing I have a problem is distinguishing who is the babyface and who is the heel. You know, I mean, because when I see somebody on TV that's seen all across the Mid-South, and them motherfuckers is a babyface, and then that night at 12 o'clock, I see them on an independent show and they're heel. You know, what the fuck? What the fuck we doing here, man? If you're a heel, you're a fucking heel. You know,
I do feel like wrestlers, especially around our area, flip-flop from show to show, whether they're good guys or bad guys. And here's the thing. At the end of the fucking day, whether they want to believe it or not, it ruins your credibility with the fans. Here's the thing. Fans want you to be who you are everywhere they fucking see you. They don't want to have to boo you at one show and then 15 miles up the road next Saturday, you're kissing their babies and shaking their hands. All you do is let them know that it's all bullshit. You're not real. This isn't real. None of it matters.
The fans are smarter than the wrestlers.
Here's the thing. They pay their money because they want to believe. They want to come there and believe. And that's our jobs, is to make them believe in who we are, if nothing else.
It is kind of funny because I have had like people in the locker room ask me certain questions that I'm like, that was a work. Like they think, they've really bought into it. So yeah, sometimes the fans are smarter than the locker room.
Well, reality brings heat. It goes back to calling someone
out.
If
you're just being yourself, then you ain't got to worry about it. If you just be yourself, and I don't care, if they want to like me, they can like me. If they don't, they don't. That's fine. Just be yourself. That's all I got to do. And they don't like me.
So look,
whatever reason. So
Nathan Dees has got a question that we're going to answer. And we'll give both y'all a chance to answer it before we move on. We got a few more questions and then we're done. But he wants to know, what do you guys think is the best promotion in the Mid-South? Sam, I'm going to shoot this one to you first. Out of all the companies that you know about around the Mid-South area, what company do you think's the top company?
Now, do you want to say the company that's run the most professional? Is that what you want? You want the company that I think is run the most professional?
Answer how you want, because it's going to take a long time for him to answer and it come up.
No, really. I think Neil Bird's show in Booneville, Mississippi. I've worked Booneville, Mississippi before.
Neil Taylor, not Neil Bird.
And I think Neil Taylor is probably got the most organized. He's not shooting for just what he's doing there. He's shooting for higher up. And he runs a good show. He runs a very good show.
Klein, who do you think's the best? What company do you think's the best around the area?
I mean, of course, I'm going to say EPW. That's probably going to be a boring answer since he already stole it. But I do feel like EPW's hits on all cylinders. And for my money, and I'm not just saying that because I spent most of my time there. And I will talk about other promotions a little bit. But all around product, talent pool, storyline, events, balance of characters. I would say EPW for sure. Other places have good. I don't have anything bad to say about most of them. I have a little more class. I mean, there's a few that I think look like total trash. But I would say the other big ones, Memphis Wrestling, of course. It's not my style necessarily, but they've got some talented people there. They got a big market. They're great. Just like EPW, they're great at promoting and the social media team, and they run a tight ship there. I like the I was going to say. Good announcers there. They have good announcers there. Now, I'll also say 901 Wrestling. I love the presentation. I've never even worked there, so I'm just being honest here. I mean, as far as the bells and whistles, from an audio-visual standpoint, from the announce team and the Titantron and the lighting, I mean, theirs look great, right? But I don't think they have necessarily the talent pool as EPW and Memphis. PPW, which doesn't have as good as no kind of TV or not that maybe the social media skills as the other company. They bring in great talent and pull a great show. So there's just a lot of them they have their own strengths and weaknesses. EPW would be overall the best.
I can't disagree with either one of you on that, man. I feel like here's the thing. If you're running a wrestling company, your goal should be live events. Here's the bare facts. No company around here is ever going to get offered any TV rights or any money to be on TV. The best you can hope for is a barter system. We give you the TV time, we sell the advertisement. So without a doubt, I feel like Neil's on the right track because longevity comes with live attendance in the pro wrestling business. That's what it was built on. That's always what'll matter most. And here's the thing. Let's take it over to WWE. All these TV companies getting all this money and they're cutting their house shows down. What happens in 5, 6, 7, 10 years when all of a sudden wrestling's not that hot and all them TV right money checks just disappear and now you got to rebuild your live attendance all over again. I don't think it's smart by WWE or anybody. Pro wrestling's always been built on live attendance, and that should be your main focus, drawing people to your shows, town to town, place to place.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And here's the thing, 901, I agree with that 100%. They probably have the best production around here of any company that's not on TV.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Premier Pro Wrestling, honestly, I think they are a huge asset for the independent scene around our area just for the fact that they do bring all of these top independent stars from all over the country and bring them in here and integrate them in with our talent. Gives our boys a chance to work with these guys that are higher level than they are. And that's what it's all about anyway as a wrestler. You can't just work guys the same level as you. If you want to get better, you got to work guys who are higher up than you. And I feel like Premier Pro Wrestling, I feel like they're a huge asset around our area just for that reason.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Their live events are amazing.
All right, Klein. Nathan wants to know, will you be back at EPW?
I might. You never know what's in, you don't know what's in the cards there, Nathan. Nathan D's nuts. I don't know why he's so concerned because he's like one of the biggest hecklers I've ever met. A total BJD mark, right? Big John Dalton. He thinks, that's another thing I don't like about Memphis wrestling. It's a little too family. It's too bright in there. It's like Sunday afternoon. It's not my gig, and you've got the people are mingling out there. And it's a very family if you like that. It's very showbiz pizza. That's the only part I don't like about it. But they do have good announcers, some good talent. And so I would run into like Nathan D's. The lights are so bright. You got Kathy Sue Holder, who would scare scare small children. Anyway, his question is will I be back at EPW?
Yeah.
I might. You never know. Right now, I don't manage anybody. Here's the ironic thing. For the manager's debate, I have 0 clients right now. Now, could I? Yes. Everybody wants me on their show because I draw people in because I'm a great face to have on the posters. Duh. The sex appeal factor. Everybody wants me. However, I'm not going to do it unless I've got a wrestler I believe in. Now, I did say at some point, Brandon Savage has got what's coming to him, right? I owe him one, and trust me, I keep receipts. But I'm not going to telegraph that or say when or where that's going to be. It may be EPW, it may be somewhere else. Also, I do want to announce that I do have my eye on somebody, and that you might be seeing me manage a new upstart. So far, so good. We've had a few meetings. I like the way the guy thinks, and I think that I can help him. And you may be seeing me with him next month somewhere.
I'm anxious to see who you pick up, Klein. You and Brandon Savage went a long way. Went from a tag team to a singles to the EPW championship, but then boom, shit went sour.
The Premier Pro Wrestling Junior Heavyweight Champion, the inaugural PPW Tag Team Champions. He was the EPW Heavyweight Champion, longest winning streak in EPW history. He was the FEW Heavyweight Champion, a new startup, been around for about a year in Tupelo, Mississippi. And success, belt, gold, everywhere we went. What the hell happened? Maybe he thought I was overshadowing. Maybe he thought I was doing most of the work, because I was. One little thing goes wrong. The referee didn't act as he was supposed to. We lost the match and the dude blew up on me. I mean, seriously, you're going to throw away 4 fucking years because of that? Fuck you, dude. I don't need it.
I mean, I think the argument of maybe Brandon felt like he was a little overshadowed might very well hold a hint of truth to it, Klein. I just do.
I'm definitely a better manager than he was a wrestler. And I say that saying he's talented. But truth hurts.
You and Brandon, y'all went a long way together, man.
Truth hurts, Brando. I hate to talk bad about him because we did have a bond. I did believe in him, and I'm proud of what we accomplished still. But it left a bad taste in my mouth, and it's not over yet.
All right, guys, we're gonna do one more question right quick, and then we're gonna get back to the R question, the debate. Rob Stern says, "Buster, are you a Southerner? I can't tell. This got to be a joke. I'm as country as cornbread, motherfucker. I don't see how you can't tell that. I'm country as fuck, man. Southern boy, born and bred, Southern boy till I'm dead. All the way. Now, let's get back on track because I think Sam, he might be falling asleep on us over there.
His primary language is molasses. I think Sam died.
Sam, you still with us, man? You breathing over there, man?
I got you, baby. I got you.
I thought you
was weekend at Bernie's. We got a weekend at Bernie's type of thing going over there.
I thought I heard you snoring for a second there, Sam. Hold on.
Well, you liable to have slipped off into a little nap there because the shit y'all was talking was so boring that, you know, I liable to have slipped off into a little nap there.
I'm sorry we're interrupting Gunsmoke. Okay? Get your grandkids to show you how to DVR it.
Yeah. I got you, baby.
Hey, man. Sam's a Little House on the Prairie or Andy Griffith, man, dude. Get your shit right, Klein. All right, guys, here we go. Next question, Klein. I'm going to just let you start with this one because I don't know who the fuck was last. Who has the advantage when it comes to getting heat? Managers of today or managers from 20 or 30 years ago? And why?
The advantage is easily 20 or 30 years ago.
Why?
What I do is harder than what he does, than what he did. And absolutely, it's because of kayfabe. It was easier back then, before the internet, before people had a glimpse of everything and was open up to everything. I mean, it's very hard to really present myself and not get people to love me because I'm a naturally likable guy, and they have access to me and they can see what a likable person I am. So then how are they supposed to go and boo me? You know?
Sam, what do you think? I feel like there's going to be an agreement on this one. Do you feel like managers from 20 or 30 years ago had an advantage in getting heat over the managers of modern wrestling?
Yeah, I do. I think they did. I think they do. And I'm like him. See, I not only work the crowd, I work the boys in the dressing room. And the boys in the dressing room always wanted to know what my real name was. I said, Sam Dollar. They said, well, where you really live at? I said, Waco, Texas. And I carried on that charade for 20, 25 years. And the boys really believed it. And then finally, when I lost my kayfabe, when everything came out, and everything came out in the open, not just my end, but everything in wrestling came out in the open. When I lost my kayfabe, then I wasn't interested in wrestling anymore because I thought I always felt like I was part of a special group because back in my day, couldn't just anybody get in the wrestling business. You know, you couldn't just get in there. But also, there wasn't 100 damn organizations running. There wasn't an organization
like a Briley Merchant or a USJ and just show up and get out of the cheap seats and just walk into the ring and start managing and refereeing. I feel you on that.
Yeah, well, see, I've seen these cats. I've seen these promoters putting these kids in the ring. Now, I'm you know, it's cool, but it seems to me like the modern day wrestling has become more of a family thing. It was a family thing back in the days too, but it's always been a work. But back in the days, it was a man's game, not a kid's game.
And that's what I see, man. That's how I feel too. When I broke in the business, Hell, you walked in the dressing room, it was grown men in there. You didn't have kids running around fresh out of high school, some still in high school. It was grown, grizzled,
Let me tell you
hardened
something.
men in the dressing room.
Let me tell you something. You know, I went back in 2018, tried to do a little bit of stuff over at MCW. And then I went up to work for a kid that used to watch me over at Peppermint Pond many years ago. And I thought he would turn out to be better than what he was, but he wasn't worth a shit. And, but anyway, you know, I went up and I worked. I tried to come back and work, but I just couldn't do it because fuck, man, we used to put signs on the door that said wrestlers on card only. When I walked in the dressing room my first time in 18, try to make a little comeback, fuck, there was wives walking around, girlfriends, fucking nobody should be allowed in the dressing room but the wrestlers only. And that's just the way it is. You shouldn't be allowed to bring your friends. And it's just like this. If your friends come to watch you wrestle, they should have to buy a ticket and sit in the crowd. They shouldn't be allowed to come in the dressing room. They should have to buy a ticket and sit in the
I've
crowd.
heard stories like that. I have to say, for the most part, I think promoters are trying to get back to that. You know, wrestlers only. Yeah, I've even seen lanyards be made like staff only, you know, so people can.
Well, back in the day, there was always either a cop or a security guard standing right there at both dressing room doors, and you didn't. I mean, you had a sign, but you didn't have to worry about that sign because nobody really pays that attention anymore. That's one thing too. Back in the day, fans just didn't freely think they could walk in the dressing room, and if they did, they got their ass booted right back on out. Especially if you walked in a heel dressing room, your ass would be out so fast you wouldn't even know it. You'd be right back out. But we had security guards standing at the door to make sure nobody that wasn't supposed to be in the dressing room got in the dressing room.
As it should be.
If
Hunter Peregrine or Nathan Dees ever came back into the dressing room, I'd turn them around and kick their ass out there so bad your head would spin.
That's good. That's good case.
And that's all. Look, let's be honest. There ain't no such a thing as kayfabe period in the wrestling business anymore.
None at all. None at all.
We're talking about backstage stuff right now, but long before I started doing this podcast, the toothpaste was out of the fucking tube. And look, WWE's got a show coming up now that's fixing to start airing where they tell you everything. They take you into the writer's room. They take you backstage, show you every little aspect of the wrestling business. That might not hurt big time wrestling, WWE, but I'll tell you what it does hurt. It hurts independent wrestling because these fans still want to believe in who we are. And if they don't, hey, everybody knows wrestling's a work, but they do come there. They pay their money because they want to believe for at least 2 or 3 hours. They want to be taken out of their real life problems, enjoy themselves, cuss at some motherfucker, cheer another motherfucker, and have fun.
Yeah. Yeah, it's called suspension of disbelief. That's the theater term. You want to suspend your disbelief. And some people make it easy. And some people are like, make it very hard because you can tell they're not about what they're presenting at all. The only thing, kayfabe may be dead, the secrets and all that. The only thing you can really control is who you are and how you're perceived. You have total control over that. So they may think, oh, that's an act or whatever, but is he really a little bit like that? They don't fucking know that, and they should never know that.
Klein, Brett Chappie Chapman says, I believe Justin Klein should be man of the year. You at least got a couple fans out there, Klein.
I do. All the haters eventually become fans. He used to be a big hater.
All right,
and
Sam.
I told him all along you were just jealous, and now he's kind of went through therapy and admitted that.
Went through therapy.
I think so. Something happened to him. He found God or something.
Man, trust me, you need therapy if you have to deal with Klein on a regular basis, man. it just is. Klein's full of shit. No matter if it's in the dressing room or if it's out in front of the crowd.
I have been so honest here. Motherfucker,
hold on.
Poured my heart out. No character, no fucking nothing. I have brought it real. 100% real, as the rappers say.
I'm just saying, you're full of shit. You don't mind. You're always in character, no matter
No,
what.
I'm not. I am literally not.
You're always an ass.
Wait. I don't have to be around somebody to see what they got. And the kids got something. So you can say what the fuck you want to.
You're talking about me, right?
Are you now this show started out with you calling him a pussy and motherfucker and told him he wasn't shit?
That's all you, Buster.
Damn.
All you. This split.
I didn't have nothing to do with that. Look, guys, Sam, here's your guy. Tim Davis. He says,
let me tell you something. I can read people. And I really believe this dude is part of the new wrestling. I believe he's part of the new wrestling. I couldn't be part of it. I'm not retired. I just quit. That's because I had to find another hobby. It gets repetitive.
I'm sorry. Sometimes it just comes out.
Yeah, but
all right.
I would say that he's very good in the new wrestling. He's very good in the new wrestling.
All right,
he seems very real to me, and that's what I like. I like real.
We should have done this fucking show on Valentine's Day, man. I just need to scooch y'all together and put a glowing heart around you two fuckers, man.
No,
you did a terrible job with the questions. You should have researched your subjects a little more if you wanted a little more hostility.
All right, let me get this out. Shut up, both of you guys. Tim Davis is on here. Sam, this is your dude. He says, my man, Sexy Sam Dollar, the myth, the legend, work Ubering right into Sam being my uncle that night.
Yeah.
You motherfuckers got a lot of heat that night. I was actually there filming that night. Tim's another guy, man. He's a heat magnet too.
Yeah, he is. Show off.
All right, we got two.
That wasn't your fraternity guy, was it?
No, that's show off. He wasn't even in the group I was in when I had to. I didn't manage the fraternity guy. I think he was a face. But Chip Diver was one of the very first fraternity guys that I had heard of, and he was young, and he did look like a frat boy.
So you trying to say Klein don't really look like a frat boy? Because Klein, now hold on, Klein fancies himself as Stan Gable now. Well, for anybody who don't know, that's the head jock on Revenge of the Nerds, man. That's who Klein sees himself as.
Well, I never watched Revenge of the Nerds, so
Buster lives it.
Hey, look, man, look, Klein.
I never said I am a frat. What do you don't understand? People who don't understand college and don't understand fraternity organizations, you're in it for life. I am an alumnus, okay? I was in this fraternity. I didn't give it up. I didn't say I quit. So I'm still an alumnus.
You're in the alumni.
I'm 22 years old or 23 years old. Come on. Even though I do look like it, I just need some just for men right here. And,
yeah, well, you stay an alumni no matter how old you
get. You need to scoot back out of the
People
camera,
don't get
Klein.
that because they've never joined a group. They've never been invited, never been accepted to a group in their whole life, except for maybe the disability line.
Well, now I'm going to tell you a little secret there. When I was in high school, we had two fraternities here. One called was Delt, one called Spo. Sometimes one of them be bad, sometimes one of them be good. They just switched up back and forth. So I thought I was going to pledge to a fraternity. So they lined about 8 of us up down through there and made us drop our drawers.
Sound like some of your shit, Klein. That's how Brandon Savage got in.
Come on.
Listen to this. This dude started down the line, and he started giving them one lick with that paddle. And when he got to me, I turned around and told him, I said, you hit me with that fucking paddle, and I'm going to break your fucking neck. And that motherfucker, they kicked me out of the fraternity. I didn't even get the pledge.
They walked by you and saw what you were packing, which was nothing.
Yeah, you ain't going to hit me.
A little 38. And
you ain't going to hit me. You ain't going to hit me with no paddle.
The line.
Yeah, but ain't no motherfucker going to hit me with no paddle. That's for damn sure. Now, at a wrestling show, I will take a lick with a paddle. But not in real life. You ain't gonna fucking paddle me.
Man, we ain't talking about the shit that
I
happens in the
would.
dressing room, man. Just keep all that kayfabe. That's the problem right there, man. We don't want to hear about all your S&M bullshit in the dressing room, Sam. Shit. You making Klein get happy, man. He'll be Klein will be
First of
stalking
all,
your
I'm
ass.
so tired of people questioning my sexuality. You know nothing. You know I am a stud. I am the quintessential male, the modern man, the privileged playboy. Too fine, Justin Klein.
All right, we got 2 more fucking questions. Let's get through
My
these
God, is
motherfuckers.
this ever going to end?
Yeah,
Man,
I'm
you
like
ain't
you.
like
Hey, I'm like you, Klein. This motherfucker needs to quieten this son of a bitch down.
Man, I'll tell you what, I'll push the button and take both of you motherfuckers out of here right now and finish this son of a bitch myself, man.
Well,
Please
you'll
Y'all
lose.
do.
fuck
Hey,
around.
But let me plug stuff before you do that.
if you take me and him out, you'll lose 2 of the most important fucking clients you ever had on your fucking podcast.
Are you actually putting his ass over now? Klein, you fucking did it, man. You won him over in an hour and 40 minutes. You won his ass over, man.
I love it.
All right, Sam, this is for you. You're starting out. Do you believe modern wrestling needs more great managers, or is pro wrestling managers a dying relic of the past in pro wrestling?
I'm kind of divided on that one because Paul Heyman's about the only one that they use in the big time that I know of. I mean, I watch on YouTube. I'll watch a clip every now and then, but I think the independents. I'm an independent kind of guy. I'm not looking to. My only dream in wrestling was to work the Mid-South Coliseum, and it never happened. And Moondog was going to take me there, and he died. So. But like I said, I don't know. I think the independents needs them because hell, half the guys can't get no heat on their own. They got to have a manager to get their heat for them.
I mean, I think that's a true statement, Klein. What's your take on it?
He was taking us down a little sorrowful, depressing road there. Thought he was going to cry for a minute. So, yeah, I think, they need a few more, absolutely. Because for the reasons he just said, or you just said, a lot of people aren't very good at getting heat. They use a few more in AEW, but a lot of times they're just other wrestlers that are managing them while they're injured or whatever. I don't know. WWE only uses Paul Heyman. I feel like he's overexposed completely. He's great, but I don't know. They need to bring back. I will take issue with this. Here's a point of dissension since you've put everything out that we're agreeable on. There needs to be babyface managers. It legitimizes the role. That they don't have to do the tactics maybe that we do or come off as like we do. You know what I mean? That it's a legitimate role, that it can be done differently in a way that fans like a mentor, like a corner man, a hype man. And then you've got somebody to play off with because usually the wrestlers are too dumb and they don't have the wit or the skill, the mental capacity to really go, toe to toe on the mic. So you need a few more baby faces where that can be done. And like I said, it would balance it out. Because anytime you see a manager now, you're like, oh, bad guy, he's going to cheat, he's going to do this. If there were some good guys, fix it up. I like a little subtlety. Everything doesn't have to be, so blunt, hit over your head. Even though it is good and evil, there can be a little gray area. You know what I mean?
I think it's already touched into the gray. I think it's already touched into the gray. And
I said gray.
I said gray. I think it's already touched into the gray. The fans, they're too smart. They're too smart. They know more about the bit. And then the wrestlers, some of the wrestlers, I'm not going to say all of them, but I'm going to say more than half of them, they get the fans involved. They turn them on to what's going on and what's not going on, So
True.
Here's my take. Go ahead, Sam.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
If you
It
take
had,
away
it had,
kayfabe, I'll go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, it had to evolve because, you know, with the internet and Vince doing what he did, and then, you know, Jerry Lawler getting on a commercial appeal with that bullshit he got on there. Um, it had to evolve. Myself, I just don't like the way it evolved, but I don't have nothing against it. Like I said, I do love the independents, and
Well, here's the thing about managers. In Klein's point of, it feels like they need more babyface managers. Man, that is a hard fucking role. Here's the thing. Really, think about who's the babyface managers out here. Really, Jimmy Hart. I mean, and you know, what does he really do? He comes out, he's more of a cheerleader. Babyface manager is more of a cheerleader. The thing about managers, and especially in the independents, I don't feel like, I would like to see a couple of really good managers, other than Paul Heyman in the WWE, maybe AEW. I don't think there's no hope for AEW, period. But WWE, TNA, I'd like to see a few more managers. But managers are really a necessity on our level, on the independent level. You need good, experienced heel managers, because here's the thing. In my opinion, you can put a inexperienced talent out there with a great, experienced heel manager, and it's that manager's job to, like Sam said earlier, he tells these guys what to do. It's that manager's job to kind of direct traffic for everybody, because these young guys, most of them are just thrown in the ring now. They do not have no idea when you do what, why, or anything. So it's a benefit around our area and any independents to have an experienced manager with your talent, because I think it keeps everything on track. If you're a good manager, you can direct traffic and keep everything in line.
Yeah, I agree. But I just
well,
disagree. I think the face manager could do a thing. You sever the part of like The Rock, because there are very few faces around here who can get in the ring and cut a promo like The Rock. But if you had a manager, a face manager, who would take that part and attach it with a baby face who can talk like that, maybe make fun of some of the heels. You know, people have this old, outdated baby face has to be kissing the babies and has to be, you know, that changed in the Attitude Era, and you don't have to be. You can definitely fire back and be a smartass and still be a baby face. You understand? You can still be likable smartass if you're pointing it toward the right things and the right people. And I think that could get a lot of people over. That's just the way I think.
yeah. Well, the deal is, then you might as well do away with heels and baby faces, not call them nothing. Not heels or baby faces. Not good guys or bad guys.
I
Um,
mean,
and there is no good and evil in wrestling anymore.
But you
that's
look at
what's
Stone
wrong.
Cold, you look at Jerry Lawler and stuff they said. That's what I'm saying. That's what a face manager could do. And if you did that against somebody who's hated, you could build a really good feud.
Yeah, yeah. They
Yeah, but here's the problem with that. At the end of the day, pro wrestling is built around heat. I don't care what anybody says. If you don't have
heat or passion, both.
if you don't have heat in pro wrestling, you don't have shit.
Right.
That's what makes everybody want to come see that babyface kick your ass, is the heat you get. Without heat, pro wrestling is non-existent. It's a waste of fucking time.
I'm not gonna like undersell our role here. We are the main draw, but if you got to have a passionate, charismatic babyface who can talk on the mic or have some kind of gimmick that's really over, you know, because otherwise people are gonna be bored if you're just a nice Boy Scout.
well, Ricky Morton was the only one I ever seen that was. Well, I've seen quite a few of them as flashy, but you know, they say Ricky Morton is the greatest babyface that ever lived, and I don't agree with that. I think Tommy Rich at the time was the greatest babyface that ever lived, and because in my mind, the babyface has to be humble. He don't need to get up there bragging about. A babyface don't brag. He don't need to get up there bragging about.
Now we're getting into some disagreement.
There we go.
I like it. But Go ahead. You finish.
Do what now?
No, I said now we're getting to. I disagree with this a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
here's the thing: a babyface manager is so limited on the potential of what he can do, because, like he said, at the end of the day, you want a confident babyface, but you want a humble babyface. A babyface has to be able to get that sympathy. If you can't get that sympathy as a babyface, nobody's gonna give a shit anyway about you. So managers are inherently heels. I mean, that's just the way I feel about it. There's a few. I mean, I can't say there ain't a few. Jimmy Hart, I like it when he comes out with Hulk Hogan or whoever, but he's a cheerleader now. He's not a manager. You look at Jimmy Hart from the early 80s around here, that's fucking heel manager right there. That's a heat-getting motherfucker.
Correct.
Yeah, if they come out with the baby faces, you would do like Arn did, and you would call them an advisor. They would be called an advisor, not a manager. And you know, but the way the business is changing, it'd probably be a pretty cool ideal. I don't know how it would work, but then you can't separate the good from the bad.
Well, you had Captain Lou Albano. We haven't brought him up. I mean,
and he's a perfect example. But in his younger years, he was heel.
Yeah.
Now, later on, and girls just want to have fun and all that shit in the cartoon. Even as a heel, then he was a babyface pretty much.
Yeah.
You know, but it takes that special person to be able to do that. And at the end of the day, if your babyface is the only time your babyface should overshadow your heel is when it's time for the blow off. He might get a little one up here and there, but if you want a good blow off and a clash of this thing, that heel has to keep heat on that babyface. And if you got a babyface that is overshadowing your heel to the point where the heel can't get no heat, you kind of kill the whole point of it.
Yeah. Say in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, wrestling sucked. 70s, 80s, and 90s, which was my time, wrestling was, I thought it was good. And but in the 2000s is when it started changing. And slowly but surely it started changing.
NWO, cool heels. Here's the problem. If you're a cool heel and the fans cheer you, you're really a motherfucking babyface. I mean, it's as simple as that. There's no such thing as cool heels.
Yeah,
you're really a babyface.
You don't
Nobody
remember
understands
though.
that. I agree.
Well, you don't remember though that when that first started, the announcers were talking about, I can't believe he's getting cheers. You know.
And here's the thing, that really goes back to probably the formation of the Four Horsemen. That's really the first glimpse of heels being popular and getting cheers. Truth be told, I don't know how they stayed heel as long as they did, because honestly, if you had the Four Horsemen in their prime right now, they'd be fucking baby faces because everybody would love them.
I don't know if you agree with this or not, but what I say is the crowd reaction is what you are. So if they're cheering for you, then that's a baby face.
I think everybody
booked as the heel, but if they're cheering you more than the other guy, you're a baby face. You're the popular guy. You're the guy that's...
Yes. I think there was more people that liked the Four Horsemen than disliked them.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's what I'm saying back about, you don't have to be like the Boy Scout always trying to come back. I understand that, and there is importance for that, and that does work. But there can also be, there is a type of fan out there who is definitely going to cheer for somebody with a little more pizzazz or charisma or machismo, or, you know, The Rock is the perfect example. Like John Cena, the biggest stars in the last 25 years have not been, you know, the simpleton country boy just trying to do right and saying his prayers and eating his vitamins. I mean, he's like, they're talking shit too, you know?
Look,
and I don't think around here that's really gotten, caught on. I don't know, but
here's the problem around here. Very few guys really know how important it is to be able to talk in the fucking wrestling business.
Now we're coming
Babyface,
full circle.
Babyface or heel.
I want to face manager because none of these guys can talk for shit.
Look at Jerry Lawler. Jerry Lawler was a fucking killer heel, which turned him babyface. Here's the thing. When a heel is white hot and he gets so over, there's no use trying to fight it. He's going to get to a point where he's so over as a heel that he is naturally going to be a babyface. Look at Jerry Lawler. Once it happened to him, sure, he flip-flopped a couple of times, but really, he was always a babyface from the minute it happened. But he could talk. He could talk either way. And very few wrestlers in general, much less babyfaces, don't realize the importance of being able to get on that fucking microphone and run your mouth.
Correct.
All right.
Big happy family here. This is a big bonding moment. You know, it's supposed to be a debate. This is like the nicest anybody's ever been to me on any of these.
Hey, that's fucking fault, Klein. That's your fault, man. God damn, man, you killing us. Look, let me see what I got going on here. Y'all got me off track.
I just want no. Well, hold up now. Hold up. I just want Klein to know that I ain't against nothing he does. In fact, Venice, I'm proud of what he does. He's carrying on the tradition.
Motherfucker, do you want to drop to your knees right now? Or you want to wait till we go off the fucking air?
No, I tell you, I speak the truth, brother. I speak the truth.
And it'll set you free. Maybe it'll set some of these morons in the comments free.
I mean, I'm not around, so we got to have somebody as good as me around, and he seems like he might fit the bill. I don't know.
That is exactly why I put you two together here. That's exactly why, because honestly, look, there's good managers around here, but there's very few that 100% of the fucking time, 24/7, 750 fucking days a year, and I know that's more than 365. That gets fucking
Steiner math.
That's Steiner math, man. That gets fucking heat. Klein is the only manager around here that gets that fucking riot type heat. And that's why I figured you two guys would fit perfect together because, I mean, really, you was one of the managers around here that kind of blazed that trail. Heat managers. That's what I like in wrestling. I don't like goody two-shoe managers. I don't like cheerleader managers. I don't really care. I don't mind comic relief, but I can't take them seriously. I like managers who go out and get fucking heat, real heat. And that's why you two guys are right here, right now, doing this thing. And before
because, hey, the men want to be me and the women want to be with me. And you can't hide the jealousy. They can't hide the jealousy. I've got what they want. They wish they could be.
All right. Tim Davis is with us, Sam. He says, gonna give you my take as an example. Sexy Sam made White Lightning the great babyface he was. A good manager makes a good babyface. And I believe that. Here's the thing. Lightning was kind of thrown in the business pretty fast, young, turned out to be really good, but he's a quintessential babyface. Quintessential fucking babyface, and a good babyface needs a great heel. Period. Sam was a great heel manager at the time, but Lightning also had great heel talent to work with to make sure that the fans sympathized with his babyface ass. Sam?
Well, I don't know.
His train of thought has left the building.
Yeah. You got that right, Klein. I'm one thing I want to say is that when people go to the car races, like the Daytona 500 and shit like that, they go to see the car races, but mostly they go to see the crashes. All right. When people go to a wrestling match and it's handled right, they go there to watch the wrestling, but they're hoping like hell that heel manager gets his ass whooped. If he's done his job, in the back of their head is, I'm hoping somebody clips that motherfucker tonight.
And that goes for not only heel managers, that goes for great heel wrestlers too. That's the whole point of a heel is to.
And that's what builds the babyface up. That's what builds the babyface up because they're cheering so much for the babyface because they want him to put one of you motherfuckers out of the business. Which a bunch of them motherfuckers done put me out of the business.
All right, guys, are y'all ready to wrap this motherfucker up? We've been going right at 2 hours. Look, I got one final question for each of you two motherfuckers, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know if I want to ask it now since y'all on hugging and kissing terms and shit. But we're gonna
real
go.
Recognizes real. Greatness recognizes greatness.
You got that right, brother. You tell the truth, honest. Old or new, it don't make no motherfucking difference. If you good, you good.
You two motherfuckers are gonna get married before it's over. Once this stops, you two motherfuckers are gonna be a couple, ain't you?
Well, as I've watched these independent shows, it feels good to have some motherfucker I can talk to that, even though we disagree with a lot of shit, we still can respect each other's fucking opinion. So
it didn't start out that way. It started out with
the world.
We are the children. There we go. I don't know no more, Klein. It's been too fucking long ago.
Now I got to give you, I got to give you your props, Klein. I got to give you your props. He told me you was a smart ass motherfucker, so I got to give you your props, dude. So
I appreciate that. I got to give you props on that ass whooping in them videos that I watched.
Oh man,
hey, go
and taking it.
Hey, go on and admit it. That shit looked good though. That shit was as real as a real fucking fight.
Because it's gonna get fucking real quick.
You gonna be sued.
I don't take it very well.
You gonna be in court if that shit happens to you, ain't you, Klein?
Correct.
All right, Sam. Before we get to this last question, Tim Davis is back. How many times have you taken LaFonce's finish in Osceola?
Shit, more than I can count. Shit, I don't know. I mean, I ain't never got beat LaFonce in the ring. And another thing is, they never put me against Miss. They put everybody in their fucking brothers against Miss Sandra. They never put me against Miss Sandra. I wish she'd get me in a head scissors. That put me right in the right spot.
Hey, didn't we all, man? Didn't we all want that fucking head scissors, dude?
LaFonce never put me in a match with Sandra. Never. And he knew I was going to be smelling that cat up there if he didn't look out. You know?
God damn. All right, guys. Look, Bradley Merchant, he said Brandon going to be jealous, Klein. Eric J's with us. He said a couple of people in the chat would be jealous if they got married. All right, we got Jameson, Little Buff, Shadow Warrior. How much does Justin Klein weigh? XOXO Shadow Warrior.
This is the kind of mark right here that's going to get his little ass whooped if he ever shows up in a dressing room. I guarantee you that. This
I
little
like
prick
that
has made signs. This little dude made like an oversized pair of panties and put my name on it on the last event. That crap ain't funny. I mean, as a juvenile delinquent, his parents are encouraging it because I know he can't even spell right.
Yeah, but that's good heat, bro. That's good heat.
I don't care. It's humiliating and it's not right. And it's bad parenting. It's Mississippi trash.
Let me ask you about this. You got your parents sitting in the front row and they got a 6-year-old kid there that's giving you the finger and cussing you out. You ever had that happen?
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking you.
Shadow jobber. I call him Shadow Jobber, Shadow Warrior. They think he's going to be a wrestler or something.
Well, the one thing I don't like is when they put these kids, these dumbass promoters that puts these 2 kids in there wrestling.
Oh, and yeah. No, I haven't seen that.
Well, you can see them missing spots. You can see them talking. So when they do that and they put them 2 little kids in the ring wrestling, that means any fucking pig farmer sitting on the front row could be a wrestler. You see what I'm saying?
They can be.
Okay, can y'all quit kissing each other's ass a minute? Let's get this final question out.
I'd rather kiss that old cowpoke's ass than listen to some 5-year-old snot-nosed brat or the parents of, because I'm sure he can't even use the internet. He's so dumb.
And half of them let their little kids run around in their drawers that's full of shit. Their diapers hanging down.
No shoes on, running around is nasty.
Snot
Dr.
running
Pepper
down.
all over them.
Snot running down that fucking nose and shit.
Damn, man.
Their mom and daddy's over there, and their mom and daddy weighs about 500 pounds apiece, and them motherfuckers is
You're
eating
definitely
popcorn.
talking about Reagan, Juanita Buster, and Johnny Buster. I'm calling them out. They're
Yeah.
some trash.
What the fuck are y'all gonna become a tag team, or y'all gonna manage each other?
You never can tell.
All
Who
right,
knows what'll happen? I'm
Look,
open to anything. I ain't got no client now. Shit.
look. Here's the thing. I'm finna give y'all plenty of time to kiss each other's ass. The last question.
He could take Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher's still trying to do it. I'm sure he ain't much older than Bone Crusher. Probably younger.
All right, guys.
I'm young. I know Bone Crusher. I'm younger than Bone Crusher.
I figured.
No,
I
I'm
figured.
wait a minute. No, wait a minute. I'm older. Hey, I'm older than Bone Crusher. I'm older. I think I'm older than Bone Crusher.
Oh.
I used to work.
Well, does not speak well.
Whenever DCW closed down, me and Sarge and them worked a few shows over in Boonville.
Okay.
And that was before Miss Edith took back over.
That old witch. She's gone now.
Well, this was before Miss Edith took back over, and I just forgot who we worked for over there. But me and Sarge and Mickey Ray went over and worked a few shows. I put AC Styles over so good over in Boonville one night. That's something y'all to send me $100 is what he ought to do.
He ain't got $100
All right.
to his name.
All right, motherfuckers. Let's wrap this thing up. We're 2:05 in. I started this shit off with saying we're going to run through this because I didn't want it to go like Dotson and Genesis 3 fucking hours, but here we are. All right, y'all have open mic to kiss each other's fucking ass. Klein, what are your thoughts on your opponent here today, Sexy Sam?
I think he's, for a 79-year-old, or how old are you again?
69.
69, close enough. All right, turn it just to hear Nate. No, we agreed on a lot of stuff. I think we got a similar outlook. We're motivated by similar things, similar philosophy. He might have been better. It's hard to believe, but he might have been better at a few things than I was. I'd have to really look into that, but I believe I'm better than him at a few things. And, I found some respect for him. So, look, this could heal the world here. Buster, you've got a bipartisan show here. You need to take over and just heal the partisan divide in this country. Because you have something about you that brings out the best in people, and you find common common ground. It's a beautiful thing. Congratulations.
Hey man, you seen what happened with the first debate? I thought for sure Dotson and Genesis was going to be at opposite ends, polar opposites of each other, and they might be married somewhere right now. They're probably somewhere at a movie theater holding hands. Now you two motherfuckers are the same way. Sam, what's your thoughts of Too Fine Justin Klein today, man?
Greatness knows greatness, baby. That's all I can say. Greatness knows greatness. Now, I have met Justin Klein, and I have a lot of respect for Justin Klein because he did a little thing that no young guy has done with me. And some of the young guys get mad when you do it. Well, if I know you get mad, I do it to you on purpose just to make you mad. But the wrestler shake, which is an old thing. They said Jerry Lawler, Tony Falk told me Jerry Lawler didn't even like that shake. But I don't give a fuck what Jerry Lawler likes. I don't give a rat's ass. And I don't handshake everybody with the wrestler shake. I mainly do it with the motherfuckers that it pisses off. But it is part of the tradition of old school wrestling. So,
what the fuck has that got to do with Justin Klein? What do you think about Justin Klein, Sam?
I think he's a pretty cool dude. Like I said, what did I get off on a tangent?
You went totally on Jerry Lawler and the handshake and Tony Falk. And here's the thing about the handshake. It's really a test. If you know a motherfucker's smart, you don't have to give them that handshake. But when someone walks up to you out of nowhere that you've never met and you reach out your hand and you give them that wrestler shake, if they don't give it back to you, you know immediately they're not in the business. They're not smart.
The very first day we met Tony Falk when I took you to school up in Nashville, Tony Falk gave me that handshake. And you remember when we got through with the first training period, Tony Falk asked you if you'd ever been in a ring anywhere. And you remember you was in the bathroom getting dressed, and I come in there and told you, I said, that dude's all right. I said, but he's got a funny handshake. And you said, dude, that's Tony Falk. And I said, yeah, that is Tony Falk. I said, but he's still got a funny handshake. He was testing me because you looked like you had been a wrestler. You see what I'm saying?
He tested both of us. He shook my hand with that shake, man, and that let him know immediately whether we knew about the business or whether we didn't. So that's really what it
The
is.
only thing I know about Tony Falk was he was like Boy George.
Yeah,
Boy Tony, get it right, man. That's Boy Tony.
Whatever. He was
yeah,
a boy.
look here. You remember the first fucking day you trained, Tony Falk called us over to the side at the end, and he said, he ain't never been in the ring before. And I said, no. And he said, not no high school, not no college, no nothing. And I said, no. He said, I don't know. He said, but I got a feeling he's might be what we call a natural. He said, he's just taking his bumps too good. And
they said that about who? Buster?
About Buster. Said
well, then you know he's full of shit.
Yeah.
Fuck you,
but that's
Klein.
exactly what he said. But he gave me that handshake. But now Justin's cool. I mean,
my opinion of Tony Falk just went down.
Yeah.
Tony Falk will kick your ass, Justin. I'm gonna tell you now. Tony Falk will kick your ass.
Not with a loaded purse.
No, I seen him at the reunion. He ain't kicking nobody's ass. I'm telling you.
Especially not mine. 6'3", 300 pounds. Forget about it.
I'll be honest with you. Everybody at the reunion, all of us pretty kind of fucking old, man.
I didn't look old. You're full of shit. All you motherfuckers looked old. I didn't look old.
Motherfucker, right now, you look like a wood burnt painting right now, motherfucker.
That's some Cauliflower Alley club thing.
All right, I'm going to have to go in there and take my medicine, man. You know what? It's medicine time.
You know, old people, they got to take that fucking medicine, Klein. You know that.
No.
They spread it out and put them in those little containers beginning of the week. And man, they don't.
No, that's what he does.
They love talking about their doctor's appointments, and they love talking about their bowel movements.
When I talk about going to take my medicine, it's like this. Get my money, buy my medicine. Now you know where I'm coming from.
This motherfucker got to go smoke, man. Here's the thing. That's a little inside about Sexy Sam. This motherfucker been smoking weed my whole life, pretty much his whole life. Look, swore up and down when the medical first come around.
Are you not too old to be doing that?
Dude, listen to me. This motherfucker preached to me up and down. I'll never go into the dispensary. I'm a black market guy. I've been on the black market my whole life. Look, I got that motherfucker go to the dispensary one time, Klein. He ain't left yet, man. He got that fucking medical card. That motherfucker loves going to the dispensary, man. Smoking up, dude.
Easy greasy, baby. Easy greasy.
All right, Sam. We got Jake Hudson has a question for you before we get out of here.
Shit.
Would you ever work for Dustin Starr's Memphis Wrestling? I mean, I think that's a easy answer.
I have nothing against Dustin at all. Dustin has been in my gym and worked out before. And I have nothing against Dustin at all, but I think I would work for Johnny Dotson before I'd work for Dustin.
Why?
And the reason is I don't fit in at Dustin's show.
What about EPW? What about Neil's show?
I don't think I would fit in at Neil's show either because
you're old as fuck.
Well, it's just me and Neil's work together. Me and Hollywood's work together, and I don't know how. I mean, me and Hollywood used to be the only two managers there was around here, and he took care of that side of the river, and I took care of this side of the river. And every now and then our paths would cross, and we worked DCW together. And I have a lot of respect for Hollywood, and I don't know how he feels about me. But, you know, people are always trying to make us like we don't like each other. Well, I don't even know Hollywood Jimmy Blaylock that well. And I've been on a lot of shows with him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't know.
Klein, what about you, man? You've actually been on Memphis Wrestling, what, a time or two? Would you consider going back?
I mean, I feel like anytime anybody, like that's probably an old person, anytime anybody over 50 or 60 is asking about Dustin Starr, they're trying to get you to say something bad or stir in the pot.
No,
Would
it's
I
a
go
serious.
back? No. I mean, I would maybe, but right now it's just the schedule. I didn't like going on Sunday afternoons. To be honest, no, I didn't really have fun there. No, I probably wouldn't. It just wasn't a fun environment for me. I didn't enjoy it.
And that's the thing, man.
But if
You
I was
gotta.
with, here's the one time I would. I mean, if I was with a guy, and because it is good for them, because they have a lot of eyes on them and all that, and I had no problem personally with anybody there, but I kind of felt like we weren't on the inside click of that, and it just felt very, I don't know.
That's
The
Justin.
only time I would do it is if to help whoever I'm managing get seen or get some experience or something like that. I would do it, but Sunday afternoons just did not work for me at all. It was a pain in the ass trying to get there and make it to that. So it'd be I would do it again, but I'm not looking to do it again.
I don't like to work any place where they use a lot of politics. And if you're good friends over there, you get the top spots. Or if your daddy or mama or somebody paid your way in or gave a big sponsorship, then you get the top spot and you might not know how to wrestle for shit, you know. And I like I don't understand why guys nowadays they might work a show Saturday night at one town and then go work another show in another town on the next Saturday night. If I work for you and you run a show every Saturday night, I don't go nowhere else. I work for you every Saturday night.
That's kind of the way I've done it. I've been in the business 6 years. Aside from being at School of Morton a year, I've worked for like 3 promotions basically in those 6 years because I pretty much go to the same places unless I have a reason to leave.
Well,
I haven't.
let me ask you this, Klein, because I've always wondered that.
I
That's
felt
just something that's always been in the back of my mind. Because I feel like surely you're getting calls to go to place after place after place. I feel like that. Is that? I mean, do you get these calls?
yeah, I do sometimes. Yeah. But it's just got to work out for me. They got to pay me enough to make it worth my while now.
Right.
At first you're getting in, you will take some other stuff, but now it's like, I mean, it's the same kind of thing. If I'm going to travel a while, it's going to take a lot of money, and yeah.
Yeah,
All right, guys.
well, see, the reason I like working for one promotion, if they run regular and if they're a good promotion, is because you become a family. Babies, eels, everybody.
Yeah.
And if it's
And
all
you can run and you can run long term like product, and the product gets better when you're working with the same people.
yes. Moondog come through one night and he showed me a clipboard and I swear it was plumb full. He said, I got 4 months worth of shows here if all these damn guys show up. And that's how, when you get through on a Friday night with one show, you already got next week laid out because you laid it out this week. See?
It is fun to be in front of new crowds. And I do like that. I love to, you can pull out the old tricks and you're kind of reintroducing yourself. You can test out new stuff. So it's a chance to kind of reinvention or tweak yourself. So I do enjoy new crowds, but I do not enjoy the driving anymore, especially because it's not like you're driving to, the prime. You're not driving to Martha's Vineyard.
Right.
You're not going to San Francisco or, Miami, Florida. We're going to like fucking Weiner, Arkansas or Buck Skinner, Bucks, North Tennessee.
North Tennessee, yeah.
It's not a travel destination, let's put it that way. So to drive 3 hours or, more than that is just not worth it. That being said, I will plug something. I'm going to be popping up at a pop-up show called Meddlesome Mayhem at the Meddlesome Brewery in Cordova here in Memphis.
That's Bobby Ford's show, right?
That is Bobby Ford's show, Saturday, May 17th. And
Yeah.
I may have, we're going to see how it goes, but the guy I've fostered a little partnership with, I'm mentoring a little bit, see if I can get him into shape, see if we're on the same page, have the same goals. If we do, you're going to see me and a lot of this kid.
I'm anxious to see who you got, Klein. I'm anxious to see you back out there with a new client, man.
And the last thing, something you might have a few stakes in, the Premier Pro Wrestling, the Idiot Rogers brothers, who I put an offer in to go in and be co-owners with to help them get their attendance up, because Newsflash was a little down last time. And I could change that. I told them that was going to happen, that I had the connections, that I had the ideas, and I have the money to put into it. And they're so bitter because Brandon whooped, Brian's ass so much that Anthony doesn't want anything to do with me. But if he will swallow his pride, I've not given up yet. They've got a show, I believe, the night before that, right? May 16th?
May 16th, Gibson, Tennessee,
so
the brand new home for Premier Pro.
Maybe I'll give them one more chance. Maybe. We'll see.
Klein, if you get to be partners at Premier Pro, I want a fucking raise, man.
Yo, you're going to be fired is what's going
to happen. That's what I'm worried about. That's what the fuck I'm worried about.
I'm going to hire your brother here, and you're going to be in the road.
Man, don't fire me, Klein. Klein, I'll take a pay cut, man. Don't worry about it, Klein. It's all right, man. Don't fire me, dude.
Yeah. No.
All right, guys.
Better sleep on eggshells.
We're done. We're fucking done. We're 2.5 hours in.
This is not how he wanted it to go. He's so mad, and I love it because he's been such a pain in the ass to me.
Hey,
fuck both of y'all, man.
Thank you for blowing his whole plan. I love it.
Fuck both of y'all, man. That's the way I feel about it, man. Fuck y'all.
Hellraiser.
No way. Everybody hates Buster. Change your name to that. Your new podcast.
You did put my money in the Cash App, didn't you?
Hey, man, I tell you what, I sent it to Luke Justice, and he's going to send it to you, and the same thing with Klein. Luke Justice, he's the Cash Out bandit. He's got both of y'all's money, man. He got both of y'all money. All right, guys, look, thank both of y'all for coming on. Troy, Sam, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck Klein.
Hey, you pulled a Ron McClarty right there.
Hey, it happens, man. What do you want, dude?
You pulled a ruthless Ron McClarty in the middle of the ring right there.
You ain't on fucking, you ain't even in the business no more, man. You ain't even in the ring no more, man. Look, I appreciate both you guys. I've had a blast with this, man. I don't know what happens. I'm beginning to think like Klein. I think I'm going to go find the two guys who hate each other the very most and try to book them against each other on one of these and see at the end of it is everybody hugging and kissing. Because y'all motherfuckers sure did.
Dustin and Johnny, see if you can get them on there.
Man, I would love to get Dustin and Johnny on. I know you'd have a wet
dream about that.
God dang, man.
Who you talking about getting on there?
Dustin Starr and Johnny Dotson.
It'll never happen.
Man, if it would, that'd be, I guarantee you, we would draw 100 live viewers if we had those two guys on. There's no doubt in my mind.
Johnny would do it. Dustin wouldn't.
Man, it would be beautiful. Klein, if that happens, if that ever happens, I'm going to have to bring you on, man, and you're going to host with me, man.
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
I think it'd be a blast. All right, I'm fixing to cut y'all off. Sam, you're out of here, motherfucker. I'm taking you out right now. Bye. Klein, same thing for you. I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you doing this. Later, motherfucker. All right, guys, you seen it right there. The match debate is in the books. You know what I got to do. I got to promote these upcoming podcasts before I let you guys out of here. Look, be sure to like this video, share this video. Go to Buster H.R. Johnson on YouTube and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell. That way you know when content's coming out. I'm coming back Monday with Nova Rain at 7 p.m. You do not want to miss that. Let's promote these podcasts, and I'm going to let all y'all get out of here.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you could never own. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So fight and die for the things you know you love. Do what you think is right and see life do what you want. So give me all the scars, I'm a human being. Cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already know. Turn that to gains, let my money show. I've got these things that I can't let go. Watch me turn this life into something that you can never own.
All right, guys, you seen that right there. Great podcast coming up. More going to be added starting Monday. Check them all out. Subscribe to my channel. I want to thank Sam and Justin for coming on for this manager's debate. And I want to thank each and every one of you guys and girls who tuned in and interacted with us. If I missed some of your comments, I'm sorry. I'm a country boy. It's hard keeping up with all this shit. Y'all take it easy until Monday at 7 p.m. I'll see y'all then.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Everything I do so instinctive and so passionate. Every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.